All right, so this is what's going on right now. So the doctor Alex and I recorded this UFC 274 recap this morning, early this morning before the sun rose, and we had technical difficulties that we did not know until after the recording was over. I pulled it up and it was trash. It was unusable audio recording. So unfortunately, Alex is now our schedules aren't lined up. So it was a good one, but now I'm just going to knock it out quick. Just recapping UFC 274 last night, Oliveira versus Gaethje. Unfortunately, the original one is gone. So, but it is what it is. It was unmanageable. Couldn't listen to it. So we'll just start off. Let me look at if there's any prelims I want to talk about. Let me think. No, probably not. Brandon Royval hit a very nice guillotine choke. That fight didn't last very long, but it looked like it was going to be nuts, no matter how long it went. But let's see. So the main card of UFC 274 is supposed to open up with Donald Cowboy Cerrone and Joe Liaison, and Cowboy, I guess, got food poisoning the morning of, so that really sucks. If you know me, then you know Cowboy is probably my favorite current fighter. Straight up legend, fighter's fighter. Hard not to like him, I feel like, in my opinion, of course. But he's just one of those, not really polarizing. Just think most people like him, but regardless, he's a cool dude. I like his style, I like his attitude, that kind of thing. But he's nearing the end of his career. I had mentioned on our predictions episode last week that I'd love to see Cowboy just get a win and then right off in the sunset, retire with a win. I don't like when guys retire after a loss or multiple losses is even worse. I would like him to realize after his last few fights, look, I'm nearing the end. Let me get one good one, one win, and then be out. That's what I would like. And I was hoping that would happen with Joe Liaison, however you say it, legend, but that's what I was hoping for. I was like, man, if Cowboy just gets a win and then just calls it quits, which he probably wouldn't anyways because he's a wild man and he loves it. But so I was hoping for, and then it sucks he had to make 55, and then after you cut all that weight, get sick and can't compete. That sucks, man. It's like an unnecessary weight cut, and obviously a miss on a big payday he probably would have got. So then Randy Brown and Chaos Williams, that was a pretty good fight. Randy Brown really showed some skills. I thought if Chaos Williams didn't get him out of there early, I thought Randy Brown would kind of take over. And Randy Brown did kind of out-slick Chaos Williams, but it wasn't like he ran away with anything. I think a lot of people were even not happy about the decision. I thought it was a good decision. I know Chaos Williams did land a knockdown in round 3, but he lost the rest of the round. Outstruck, hell of a chin, but Randy Brown won rounds 2 and 3. It was close, and I could see an argument for Chaos Williams getting the nod there. It was a split decision, I think. It was a split decision. No, maybe it wasn't. I don't remember. I think it was a split decision. Regardless, Randy Brown, I gave him rounds 2 and 3. Very close. Good, entertaining fight. Then we had Shogun versus OSP, which was kind of lackluster, pretty lackluster. OSP was landing good front kicks early, right up the middle, right into Shogun's chest. I guess that was enough to win round 1. Round 2, I don't know. I kind of thought Shogun won, but there wasn't a whole lot going on. And then, it wasn't a whole lot going on. Shogun is a MMA royalty, really. I like OSP though, but he just doesn't do a whole lot of output. He kind of sits and waits and just does that. But he's good when he goes. He's good, but I didn't know how to score. It was pretty tough, but he got the decision. I don't think it was a terrible one, but the fight wasn't very great. But then we go to the people's main event, really. Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson. Round one, totally insane. Tony Ferguson outstriking Michael Chandler and knocking him down. I mean, I'm pretty sure Mike popped right back up, but man, Tony was just out striking him, being slick. As Michael was blitzing in like he typically does, Tony was just being slick. And then Chandler decides to wrestle, which I thought he should have done. I thought that should have been a good game plan if your power on your hands, if your power wasn't getting you where you needed to be, which it wasn't. He was getting tagged coming in, and he was the one in trouble standing. So I was like, man, if that's not working, yeah, great wrestling. Let's use it. Of course, you got to be mindful of Tony's guard game off of his back, not just his slick, 10th Planet style submissions, but also his elbows, his strikes from his back. He's vicious. He does not sit there and just throw up subs and hope to stand back up. I mean, he wants to hurt you or finish you down there, whether it's elbows or submissions, whatever. He wants to hurt you. So Chandler did great. It was pretty obvious that Tony was being slick and doing a lot of good stuff, and even landing shots, armbar attempts, omoplata, triangle, like those things. I thought Chandler did a good job seeing him coming, but he was very mindful of Tony's tricky game off of his back, but still decided to hang in there and hopefully land some good ground strikes. Amazing, barn burning round one for sure. And then round two, how early was it? Let me see how early it was in round two. 17 seconds. Well, that's probably 17 seconds in, yeah. So, I mean, right away, Michael Chandler lands this freaking. So, like back in the day, I used to kick for the football team, and I didn't do soccer style. I did straight to, like, we even had shoes. I never used one, but I would borrow one. We had one other kicker that had one, but you have like a flat foot, so you can straight kick it right with your toe, which is very old school. But when I was growing up, we didn't have soccer, so we didn't learn to kick that way. We kicked it straight, and we had some decent kickers. I was pretty decent too, but that wasn't our only job. We also kicked, but anyways, you'd line up straight and you'd run and you'd kick it. You wouldn't do the sideways field goal like they do nowadays, but just straight on kick it with your toe. That's how we did it back then. So, and it was like that. It was just like a kick right up the middle, toes up, just right into Tony's chin, knocked his chin through the top of his head, essentially, and he went to Mars. Tony was gone. Tony almost died yesterday. So that was crazy. Insane. One of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen. Anderson Silva had a very similar knockout to, I think it was Vitor Belfort, but it was like that, but better. It was the best front kick knockout I've ever seen. And one of the best knockouts I've ever seen. The way a guy gets knocked out also plays a factor. It's not just the kick. It's not just the punch. It's not just the technique. The way they fall plays a huge factor in wow, that was such a great knockout. And the way Tony the way his soul just left his body and he folded like a lawn chair face first was just unreal. Just wow. Unfucking real. Crazy knockout. Michael Chandler gets the finish round two. I hope Tony's okay. That was just nuts, man. Just nuts. So we go from that to maybe the worst fight of all time. Maybe that's saying a lot. We've had some stinkers for sure, some really bad ones, but last night, Rose Namajunas versus Carlos Barza was, man, I wish that was a 15-minute fight because that was rough. And as far as the decision goes, I don't even care. I didn't even know how I would score that. I was like, not a whole lot really even happened. Rose seemed extremely confident, which was very confusing, really. I'm not sure why she was so confident, and she seemed to be excited. Like she was like, I don't know, like almost in Esparza's face between rounds, looking at her like, yeah, I got you that one. Between rounds, it's like, ooh, nothing even happened. And then when they're about to raise hands, she seemed like very confident, and then very surprised when her name wasn't called. Now, I don't know how I'd score it. That's a tough one. I would love to say I'd go back and score, but there's no way I'm watching that again. So they just didn't do much. I'm not going to say they didn't do anything. There were takedown attempts. There were not a whole lot of strikes, not a whole lot of strikes landed. There was a lot of dancing around is what it was. There was a lot of dancing around, but hard to score. So hard to score. Every round was like, well, who won that one? Nothing really happened. I mean, you could just flip a coin. So as far as the decision goes, and Carlos Barza being the new strawweight champion, I just really don't care enough. I just don't. But moving on, main event. Charles Oliveira misses weight, has to vacate his title. There's some funkiness with the scale. I don't know all the ins and outs, but I do know almost everyone else made weight. So, and Justin Gaige also had to make championship weight, and he weighed in 155 on the money. So I don't know how I feel about the scale situation. I do think they need a digital scale. It's 2022. Why do we not have a digital scale in the UFC? They're accurate. And they don't get bumped around, and now they got to be recalibrated and things are unaligned or whatever. Those old school scales, it's crazy they still use those. Get a good digital scale. There's a lot of them out there. If the UFC can afford a really good one, and use that. It's crazy that someone bumped the scale or jumped on the scale. I don't know the whole ins and outs, but apparently the scale got screwed up. I don't know. Maybe during or near the end. I don't know. I know everyone else made weight. That's all I know. So I don't know for sure. But that being said, they should use a good digital scale. They should definitely just get a good digital scale. And, get with the modern times. It's 2022. But that being said, he had to vacate his title. He wins the fight. Right? Or if he loses the fight, Justin Gaethje's the new undisputed lightweight champion. If he wins, he just becomes the number one contender, and the next fight is for the vacant title. So he really just lost money and recognition, which sucks. I don't know if I should defend him or harass him because he missed weight. They're saying it was the scale. I don't know how I feel about that. It sucks either way. So I don't know the ins and outs, but it sucks. It sucks for him, and he is paying the price financially, and now he's not the champion. But I think most people still consider him the champion. He went out. Justin Gaethje knocked him down a couple of times. Justin Gaethje hits hard. But Oliveira hit him with some nasty strikes too. But when Oliveira gets knocked down, sometimes I'm like, he probably just gets hurt and just decides to fall down because now he can play jiu-jitsu, which is he'll always have the advantage playing that game. I mean, you are on bottom, and if you are actually hurt, then those shots would suck. But that's what I'm saying. I think if he gets tagged and it rings his bell a little bit, I think he'll just fall and be like, all right, follow me down here. So what I'm saying is that maybe he's not hurt, like I can't stand anymore, I fell down, my leg stopped working. Maybe he's like, okay, that one stung me, I'll fall down and play jiu-jitsu, but I'm still all there, I'm still coherent, my legs are working fine. I don't know for sure, but maybe. He seems like he falls down and he's fine, and he's like, all right, falls straight to his back, he's playing an open guard, welcoming his opponent down there. So maybe there was a couple of that. He got back up. Gaethje was wise to let him right back up. But then, so I was favoring Gaethje in this fight. Eddie from Grind Gang roasted me for it. That's fine. My problem with Eddie was he was saying there's no way Gaethje wins, which, I mean, come on, it's a title fight. I would never say there's no way anyone could win. I thought there was no way Juliana Pena would beat Amanda Nunes. That's what I thought. But so, of course, there's a way he can win. I mean, he's barely an underdog. That being said, the reason I was favoring Gaethje was because I thought Oliveira would have a hard time taking him down. Oliveira did even try to jump guard, pull guard, jump guard, and that failed. But that was exciting. It was like, wow, pulling guard in a daggone title fight, insane. But so yeah, I was like, Gaethje hits hard. Gaethje's a good striker. Oliveira's a great striker too. Gaethje hits hard. He's a good striker. He's got great wrestling defense. I don't know if I thought Oliveira's path to success was the ground and the grappling. Ended up being so. But I was so focused on I don't know if he can take him down. I wasn't even thinking he could knock him down. So Oliveira hits him with a good, I think it was a right hand, good, I think it was a straight right hand, and puts Gaethje down and then jumps on him, engages in his super slick jiu-jitsu grappling, just chaining subs, chaining submissions together, and just one after another. Beautiful. Ended up in the rear naked choke, but had several before. Potential armbar, potential triangle from the back. It was just chaining shit together. Just crisp jiu-jitsu. And then he ends up getting the rear naked choke. So that's one way to get someone on the ground is to knock him down. And my dumbass was like, I don't know if he'll take him down. So, but he always finds a way. Oliveira finds a way. I mean, he got to Dustin Poirier's back standing. Didn't even have to take him down. Got to his back standing against the cage, jumped back mount, and choked him out. So Oliveira does find a way. He's the fucking man. I did pick Gaethje to win, but it was no shade to Oliveira. I think Oliveira is the man. He's one of my favorites. I like Gaethje a lot too. It was just a bad pick. It was just an opinion. I stand by it. But Oliveira is the fucking man. You know, he proved me wrong. He proved me wrong last time too. I thought Dustin Poirier would win, and so he keeps proving me wrong. Maybe I need to stop picking against him. You know, I've learned that with Usman. I picked against Usman so many damn times. I have a thing where I pick against the champ for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I like James too much, but there you have it. UFC 274. Overall was a good card. Namajunas and Esparza 2 was horrendous. OSP and Shogun wasn't very good. Everything else was pretty good. Randy Brown, Cass Williams was a good fight. Chandler Ferguson was amazing while it lasted, and Oliveira Gaethje was amazing while it lasted. So there you go. That's my second recap. My first one with Alex was just unusable. I'm sorry, Alex, but I just knocked it out on my own again. There you go. So thanks. Love you. Bye.